तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो।
ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः। को ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्।
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Hello friends, Namaste. Hope you're doing good and you had a good week till now. So today, before starting with the advanced Ayurveda next lecture, I would like to explain you something that if you haven't gone to the basics of the Ayurveda, which are the Tridosha and the Panch Mahabhuta concepts, and also the little bit more detailed information about the doshas, Vat, Pitta and Kapha. For example, their formation and aggravation and when they get diminished, so what organs they affect and all the physiological aspects of the doshas, then it would be difficult for you to understand here. That's why I always told in the starting in the orientation as well that it's good that if you go to the basic concepts or you go to the basic course first if you want to understand and build your base in the Ayurveda course from here on. So the first session was the introduction and the foundation of Ayurveda, which is common for most of the courses. But in between, you have to really go through those concepts which are in your manual in the starting pages, in the starting chapters. So I would request you that if you haven't gone through and revised those concepts, then I would advise you to go it first before you go to the videos from here on, because it is very important to flow in the academic process and the learning process. So today's topic is we are going to cover some topics like concept of ras, which is the taste, and the concept of some dhatus, which is 7 tissues. Please pay good attention. These are very important concepts, and this also includes the concept of metabolism and the digestion in relation with the formation of dhatus and its corresponding interaction with the doshas within the body. So it's very interesting. You might have approached it in a conventional biological way, as we all have studied digestion and metabolism, but here we are going to understand in a slightly different approach as per Ayurveda. So let's start with the ras. So what are ras? Ras is a Sanskrit word. Basically ras are nothing but the taste. We all know taste because taste is a very strong sense organ and sense modality, and we all like to eat, and the biggest part of the desire that we eat food is because of the taste, because taste is so important for us that we devote so much of time in finding new recipes and tasting different food because it is connected to our desire. As in yoga and Ayurveda we say that tongue doesn't know anything about the digestion. Stomach knows about the digestion. Your digestive organs just under your throat or your tongue knows about your digestion. But still we cannot ignore the importance of taste, because taste makes the food interesting. It makes the food more compatible to our desires. So there's no harm in adding taste to the food. But today we are going to see a different perspective of the taste as we know in our day-to-day life. The taste is also connected to a lot of other things, as we're going to find today what a different kind of taste are and how they are connected to the doshas and how they are connected to aggravating or diminishing the doshas, because basically we need to understand that aggravation and the diminution of doshas is only responsible for all the disorders and imbalances as per Ayurveda. So the whole thing is all about to balance these doshas. And it's very interesting that Ayurveda gives us this understanding that how you can eat a particular food of a particular taste and you can actually control your doshas. Very fascinating, because no other science, no other nutrition actually talks about correlation or connection of taste with aggravation or diminution of humors within the body. That's why I call Ayurveda is such an amazing Vedic science or the medical science and nutrition system, because it's really very specific. So let's try to understand and follow these tastes in Ayurveda, which is known as ras. So there are basically 6 ras or the taste in Ayurveda. The first is sweet, which is in Sanskrit known as swadu. Then amla, which is sour, and lavana, salty, tikta, bitter, katu, which is pungent, and kashaya, which is astringent. So whatever we eat, any kind of food, whether they are fruits, they are vegetables, whether they are grains, cereals, herbs, spices, condiments, whatever we consume is always a combination of these tastes. So these tastes are always in combination. Without these tastes, you would feel the food is flat, right? So when you put a food on your mouth, the tongue is an organ which gives you the sensory perception of the taste. So you first put the food, put the food in your mouth, you chew it, you masticate it, and then you mix with your saliva, and by the time you already feel a taste in your mouth and it gives you pleasure. But the food is having the 6 tastes, or the combination of these 6 tastes. For example, some fruits are sweet in nature, in taste, some are sweet and sour, and some are acidic, and some vegetables are astringent, some spices are pungent, and few things are very salty, like you take a salty snack, so it's very salty, or some people add more salt. So basically we know that food is always a combination of the 6 tastes, and you always have 1 or 2 more tastes in one food. For example, oranges are sweet but they're also sour, right? For example, let's say you cook something, right? You put salt, then you put some astringent herbs in it. Herbs are mostly astringent. Very rarely they are pungent. Spices are more pungent. So certain foods are sour in nature, right? Like vinegar, like tamarind. So they are sour in nature, and few things are sweet. So what I'm trying to tell you here, that food is never just sweet. One particular food is never just sweet, never just completely astringent. More or less, certain taste might be predominant in a particular food, but there's a lot of combination. And remember, we just don't eat oranges, we just don't eat rice, we just don't eat lentils. We eat combination of foods throughout the day because we eat balanced. And as I said, that food is not just about health, food is strongly connected to our desire. So keeping that in mind, we are going to have a very holistic approach about the taste here. Moving ahead, when you put a food on your mouth, you normally feel a primary taste. The taste which is very apparent to you, that is known as a primary taste or the pradhan taste. So for example, let's say you take an apple and you just munch an apple, you feel the sweet taste. Okay, let's say you take a banana, you again get sweet. Let's say you take an alcohol, let's say you take a wine, so you get a pungent and astringent taste. Depends what kind of alcohol it is. But mind you well that that is not the only taste the food has. When the food goes inside our body, in our stomach, different chemical reactions happens, different ingredients mix, enzymatic action happens, due to which the taste of the food is also changed post-metabolism, or the post or during the stage of digestion, which is basically known as a secondary taste, or in Sanskrit we known as anusar ras, which is a secondary taste. So again repeating, food has a primary taste which you taste on your tongue as you eat, and then the food is a secondary taste which is like a vipak, which is also known as the post-digestive taste.